Good to see you again. I'm glad you're back. Let's continue our conversation about the gospel and what it is. Last week, we began considering the end. What is the target toward which our world is aimed? Incarnation. To be scooped up in the life of God, to become accustomed to God's very self, that our creatureliness might become more substantial, sacred, more real. And the world has been built compatible with the divine presence. And there is scarcely a better portrait presented of the world's composition and its purpose than in the scriptures, the church's sacred texts. There are a number of clues in the biblical account of God creating the world, which are intended to lead the reader to see the world, the whole world, as a temple. Now, I won't unpack every one of those clues now, but suffice it to say, for the time being, that if we hold up the story of the creation of the world next to the story of God giving to the prophet Moses detailed instructions for the building of a smaller scale temple, a sacred tent that is meant to go wherever the people of God go, in which they conduct their worship, they read like mirror images of each other, like two aligned panels sharing the same composition, the same form, the same design. Creation and temple are one. And there are all these really neat details which signal that the world is a liturgical space, a space in which worship is to be carried out, like a temple. There are, for instance, lights in the sky which tell you what time it is, when it is time to pray, when it is time to celebrate, when it is time to remember, and so on. If you've ever walked into a historic church, maybe an old cathedral or Catholic church or certain Anglican churches, you'll see stages of proximity to the front area where there is what looks like a table, an altar. Maybe you'll see a rail even between the central area and that altar, something indicating a transition in the space. Well, the same is true of creation as described in the scriptures. There are stages of proximity to the sacred. There are waters, the land of Eden, and then a garden. Now, there is a lot more we could say, but let's just say at this stage that creation is described in liturgical terms, in terms associated with worship in a temple. Creation and temple are one. And something interesting happens in the final act of creation. The scriptures say that God, the Creator, rests. Now, this is different from, say, kicking back or taking a load off. We are meant to picture God coming to sit like on a throne, coming to dwell in the temple he has just built so that worship, the great liturgy, can commence. What this tells us is that God and the world go together. The world is created for visitation, for compatibility with the divine presence, to be joined to the life of God. And it also gives us crucial information for answering a question that may be on your mind right now. What is our place in all of this? What can we learn about the purpose of humans in the order of creation? Let's go there next. I'll see you next week.